So, hey guys, Chauzu here. Sometime this week we might get info about the 6 Plus Gear 5. So this is basically the last chance to give some predictions, what I expect. So I thought I'd do that in this video, but honestly I don't have that many ideas. Like, we already know from the fact that Gear 5's skulls is same color now, we know there won't be any color change, and a color change will have been the main thing I wanted from a 6 Plus. So we already know that's ruled out, sadly, but doesn't mean that there can't be other good changes. So I have a few ideas, but it's very much possible that we don't really get any changes at all, just bigger numbers will be boring, but somehow that should be like the base assumption. But I have a few things I think can change. If we start with the obvious, which I think many people are expecting, adding some seed reduction to the captain. I personally don't really care how they do it, like if it's for the whole team or just Luffy. As for some precedent, we can say that when Yamato released in a similar way to Gear 5, we first got a 6-star Yamato, then a few weeks later a 6 Plus. That 6 Plus did add seed reduction in captain that the 6-star didn't have, so it's definitely possible and will be very much appreciated. With the 15 CD with Living Break expansion, it's incredibly high. So I'm really sure how I'd want it, like -1 CD or maybe -2 or 3 just for himself. Like, anything will help, so I'll take whatever. One thing I started to think about lately is about the revive mechanic. Like, the revive mechanic is very much connected to the scene in the series when Luffy awakens to his devil fruit and goes into Gear 5 for the first time, where he basically is killed and then revived. So a 6 Plus will not be that same scene. So the question is, will they keep the revive mechanic if it's not the same scene? I'm starting to get skeptical. So it might be that a 6 Plus is another scene that loses the revive mechanic, but it's also permanently in Gear 5 form. That's currently where I'm leaning a bit against, and I'd be pretty okay with that, since the OG Gear 5 is not going away. We will have that Gear 5, and then we will have another Gear 5 that will have some other things, and being able to always be in Gear 5 without having to bring Hall of the Straw Hats for the EX or dying will also be pretty cool, and I imagine that unit will have some other gimmick as well. So yeah, I think there is a realistic chance at least that the revive mechanic disappears, and instead we have the permanent Gear 5. So if we look at the captain, that does mean we have the inward defensive effects, stuff like that. And let me tell you, like, a unit with seed reduction in captain, inward defensive effects, maybe they even add a timer to it, who knows, and resist bind, resist special levers. That's an incredibly strong legend, and in most cases we'll probably see use over the 6-star, but 6-star of course is still very nice for reviving, which is not to be underestimated. Of course, they might just also keep the revive mechanic. That's just my personal look at things. Finally, one big speculation I also have is about the rush. I've been thinking about this quite a while lately, because no matter how much I think about it, this doesn't make sense. Like, why pick rush if you're going to make a final tap? Like, just make a final tap. So I'm not sure if this is a good prediction or if it's extreme copium. I don't really know for myself, but I'm feeling like if their plan from the beginning was for the 6+ to have a normal rush like Sanji, where you hit early, build up the chain, help the others later, then maybe someone at Bandai went like, oh, but for the 6-star, maybe to make them more unique, we can make the rush like this instead, be kind of like a final tap, make it very strong like that. So that's currently, well, let's say it's copium, because we can't really assume that it will get a big change like this. That will be setting new precedent for sure. We've never had a big overhaul like that before with a potential ability, but considering how abnormal this rush is, it does kind of make sense, in my book at least, that 6+ could change this a bit. And it will probably need to be tuned a bit because, yeah, like now he adds 2x attack boost to himself. Adding it to a team will be probably a bit too high number. The Sanji is 1.4x attack boost for reference. So not as big, but still adds very good damage. And then you can stack it with Super Tandem and a final tap actually, since you can stack this rush with a final tap. So I really hope they make something like this, and I'm open for other changes. Like now I have the tools to actually level 150 my Gear 5. I have the 2 dupes, I will have 2 rush tablets, that's all you need for level 150. But if the rush goes unchanged, I won't do it. I don't think that's worth, like, right now, this rush is strong. It is optimal for maximum damage side teams, but the moment we get a normal rush for Sai, kind of like Sanji, then I doubt this will be as great, since in the end, it's better to let many on the team do more damage than just one doing a lot more damage. At least that's the way it usually is in this game. Like we had selfish units in the past, and try and think how many times you use them for super bosses. Like, it doesn't really happen. In the end, it's better to help the whole team do damage. So that will also be a reason to change the rush, just so we can have a Gear 5 that lasts very long, instead of maybe not being that great for too long against super bosses. But yeah, I'm excited to find out. I have no doubt it's going to be well worth the wait. And this week we should also find out what the other Super Sugo we're getting is. Like, is it going to be Kaido? Or will it save him a few weeks? Or who knows? My personal stance is that we just have one Super Sugo left, which is Kaido, because the theme of this Super Sugo, if we take a look, it's decisive battle in disguise, and in my mind, there's only one decisive battle. It's Luffy against Kaido. Like, how do you do like a Law Kid Legend with this team? For me, it doesn't make sense, but Bandai often doesn't, so I'm not going to rule anything out. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.